Hey, it's Mike Jacob coming to you from the foothills overlooking Jerusalem with our thought for the week. This week's Parsha Vayeshev, there's two primary subjects discussed. Number one is the tension between Yosef and his brothers. And the second subject is the survival of Yosef in Egypt. And the message of the first subject is that you may have differences. Yosef has his approach to life. The brothers have their approach to life. You cannot disagree. You cannot have tension if it's unnecessary, because for thousands of years we've suffered because of the tension that they had at that time. That's subject number one. Subject number two is the survival of Yosef in Egypt. How did he do that? The Torah tells us that Yosef was the Ben Zekunim of Yaakov. Rashi points out the Onkelos, which says all the Torah which Yaakov got from Shem ve'Ever, he gave over to Yosef. And that is how Yosef was able to survive, because he had all that Kedusha, all that Torah in him that allowed him to manage in the exile, the terrible exile, the schmutz of Egypt, and all these challenges that he faced. And I believe these two subjects are messages maybe, and things that maybe we can take out of events which have happened over the last few weeks. And the events I'm referring to specifically was, first of all, the terrible massacre that happened in the Har Nof shul a few weeks ago. Terrible, terrible massacre. And the second event was just this week in the Lubavitch 770 Center in Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn, the attempted murder by an anti-Semitic person, Afro-American, in that holy base medrash in 770. And I think the first point is that it doesn't matter if you're Litvish, living in Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Reuben is a very holy, special person, on the one hand, or if it's Lubavitch. A shul is a shul. And the Goyim, why do they attack the shul? Why do they have it? Because they know that that's the heart and soul of the Jewish people. And the heart and soul of the Jewish people, there may be different directions. There's Yosef's direction, and there's the brothers' direction, and they're both right. So there may be the Har Nof way of doing things, the Rabbi Reuben way of doing things, and there's the Lubavitch way of doing things. And we have to know in our hearts of hearts that everybody's making their contribution, and whatever mahalach you have, it's holy. And we can't start having friction and tension among Yidden. Point number one. Point number two is that what allowed Yosef to survive was his Torah, his studying. Yeshiva Shem ve'Ever was 14 years with no sleep, complete dedication to the base medrash. And we have to know, we have a base medrash, we have a shul. We have to take advantage of that. We have to go, like Rav Nissen Karelet says, maybe I can suggest, maybe a radical thing, but maybe this Shabbos morning, and again, this is very radical, try to be on time for shul. Because we have to reclaim the shul back. We have to go there and learn. And, another thing it just bugs me. I think it's a very important thing. The smartphones, I think there's a lot of good uses for it. But, sometimes you'll have a whole shelf of Sidurim in a shul, and a guy sitting there, learning from his smartphone or davening from his smartphone. You have a shul, you respect it. It's a shul. It's a holy place. And we have to know how to treat it. And we have to go and make use of it and go and learn and take advantage and reclaim the shul, because somehow the message that we got lately was that somehow, on some level, we're not taking advantage of the shuls and batei medrash that we had. And that's our survival. And that's what keeps us going. And that's what keeps us strong in the exile, like it did for Yosef. And what Yaakov gave over to Yosef was the Yeshiva Shem ve'Ever, this commitment to a base medrash, a commitment to a shul. So these are the two ideas. We have to have shalom with everybody and appreciate different drachim, and at the same time appreciate our batei medrash and our synagogues and our shuls. And that way, somehow we'll do a tikkun to the terrible things that happened. B'ezrat Hashem, we should only hear good things. Take care. Shabbat Shalom.